Come on, little pup. Camo. Come on, little fluff. Oh my god, look at that fucking beaten sun. Ugh. Fuck that. Ugh. Maybe Zukov is getting sick of it. He's barely been out here. Poor little puppo. Look at you, little goof. Coming out of the... Wait, hold on. I'm gonna have to cross the street real quick. Zooks. Come on, pop up. It's another doggo. Oh my goodness. Goof.
You seen a bird?
What was that?
We lost a parrot.
Lost a parrot?
Oh, you haven't seen one.
No, I just came walking not too long ago. I didn't see one at all, but
You keep your eyes open.
Yeah.
We live on the street behind here in a yellow house with the whole front of the house is like a roof.
yeah.
Pretty easy to spot.
Yeah, I live just right over here, so I mean, there's probably an off chance
Yeah,
that
we're just right behind these houses, so
yeah, I figured if if he was hanging around, I'd probably be able to see him in these trees, but
well, she doesn't fly well because she doesn't normally fly.
right, yeah,
So that's what scares us.
right, yeah, so she could probably,
On the ground.
yeah, probably on the ground, maybe, yeah, well,
Well, these yards are big, but no one's home, so I can't.
right, yeah.
Sometimes I think I hear her, but
Yeah, I imagine that, she couldn't have gone too far away, especially if she's,
well, she tires very easy. So.
right, yeah.
Hi,
Well-
baby. Hi.
Well, hopefully you find her pretty soon.
Thank you. Keep your eye out.
Oh, well. That sucks. Hope she finds a parrot. And parrots are pretty smart, so I imagine that she'll eventually probably call back and be like, "Cramp, I'm over here." Bro, the internet signed up has signed up for us with our name, Freedom Fiber. Freedom Fiber. What the hell? All right. Okay. Got my money, got a coffee. I actually didn't need to really get one, but the ones they have in here are a little warm. So I got a cool one. And fuck, just walking to and from work is horrible. I'm sweating balls already. Oh my god, I hate the heat. Ugh. Come on. Okay. Ugh, fuck. Man, I am sweating. Ugh, I hate it. Hold on, fuck it. Shirt off. Ah! What are you doing? Hey, get your head out of there. Got your head in the goddamn fucking food bag? The kibble bag, bro? Really? Silly minds. Alright, doing a shirt exchange. Exchange of the shirts. There we go. That's much better. All douche is working at least. Trying to run up that bill because fuck you, step douche. Nice. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm in the garage right now, so it doesn't really have AC in here, but the house does. The house is actually pretty nice and cool. But, you know, at least in here, not really. At least it ain't as bad as outside, so that's what counts. Anyway, let's get this coffee cracked open. But, gotta get a window unit for you. I already have an AC already installed in the house. Like, the house is air conditioned. The garage and the house are different things. Oh my god, these flies, dude. These house flies are really annoying. There's like 2 of them over here. Oh my god. They're fucking multiplying, dude. You know, fuck this. Ah, I got one, bitch. Yeah, that's right. Get fucked. Get fucked, ho. Hat, wings busted, little asshole. Yeah, that's right, fucker. Yeah, try flying with that. Oh yeah, that's right, you can't. Bitch. Bro, you see this Portland cop got off for being a coward? Which one? Is it a recent development thing?
Prepared to be...
Wait. Cop who hid during... What? Oh, a cop who hid during the shooting? Oh, I think I know of this. I think.
By this story that I'm about to deliver for you right now. So this is in Mediaite. They say, Parkland cop who stayed outside...
Wait, this is Parkland, not Portland.
During shooting, found not guilty on all counts, collapses in tears as verdict read. So...
Oh, wait, hold on. Well, can you go to the bank for me?
Yeah.
What? Can you go to the bank for me today?
Yeah.
Okay, here, hold on.
Suppose I could do that.
Just make sure I got all that. Yep, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Boop. I just want to make sure. There we go. I'll just have it over there. Okay. That's a Portland. No, it's a Parkland. So it's the Parkland shooting. So basically this fucking cop literally collapses into tears to be like, oh my god, I'm innocent for not doing my job. Yay! Like, man, nah, he should have been in prison. No, fuck him. Or at least at the minimal, like, you know, like have some sort of like, you know, community service for a long period of time and unable to be, you know, fucking a cop ever again or any form of law enforcement. Like, this guy should have been found guilty for especially being a bitch, frankly. Like, you know, did you see the video of the Allen, Texas cop? Like, Because honestly, like, I'm just gonna be honest, that cop is like, I don't say it usually, but that dude's actually kind of heroic. Like, because like the dude literally jumped into action. He didn't even call for backup yet. By the time he was like halfway there, you know, ready to start taking shots, like that's when he started calling for it. You know, so, you know, like, I mean, he straight up, like, you know, like, he was, like, talking to some kids, being like, hey, you know, this is why wearing your seatbelt is, you know, safe and will keep you safe and blah, blah, blah. You know, like, you know, even in that sense of being a cop, actually doing his job. Because, yeah, if, like, you know, let's say that, you know, oh, you know, you didn't have your seatbelts on and, you know, and your mom got pulled over for a traffic, you know, stop, yeah, because of that. You know, it's more in the best interest for a cop to just teach the kids and just be like, now this is why, because obviously, you know, your mom could be in trouble if that happens and blah, 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 and it's actually safe and you can get hurt if you don't wear it and la, 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 you know, all that stuff. Cop was doing that, you know, and then, you know, in the middle of that spiel that he was doing for the kids, it was like pop, 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 you know, the shooting starting. He just looked up and he, like, murmured, oh, fuck. Like, he quietly said it, but you heard it on the camera. He's like, oh, shit. You know, or something like that. And he's like, all right, now y'all go back to the car and get on out of here. And he went right to his vehicle, grabbed his AR, put a mag in, put one right in there, cocked that fucker, and just started just bolting. And he got, you know, people who was like in, you know, like in the parking lot, it's like, get in your cars and go, like telling them go that way, you know, and get out of here. Like, you know, just saying, just avoid the area, just fucking bail it. Like, he was acting on his own before he even bothered to get back up going. Like, he was just a one-man army in that situation. And you know what? Like, for good fucking reason. And when he rolled up, like, you know, he already took him out and killed him by the time backup arrived. Like, another cop showed up, like, literally right after he killed him. So, he did it all by himself. And frankly, that guy, you know, is worthy of being a fucking cop. At least what should be a merit of an actual cop. Like, it was actually a really badass video, frankly. Like, because he, you know, he didn't stop. He didn't, like, he just, like, he heard the shots and boom, right into action immediately. Like, no being a coward, no running off like a bitch, no, like, the entire police force sitting outside while shooters slaughtering people. None of that shit. Just one person on their own just ran right in there into the action and said, fuck it. You know, it's like, I need to protect some people here. I mean, it's like, at least, you know, for that officer, like, he's actually an example of what a good cop should be. And it's kind of fucking sad and an indictment of policing in the country, period, that you have to, like, look for the weeds to find a motherfucker like that. Like, it shouldn't have to be like that, but nonetheless, it is. You know, that's what fucking sucks about it. It's like, that's, I mean, so it's still an indictment of our police system that we still have to, like, look for binos and, you know, like, for microscopes to go find the one good cop that's out there. It's like, motherfucker, dude. It's like, man. Because, I mean, it's like they do exist, but they're just, like, literally never represented in a meaningful way. Outside of the rare instance when a shooting happens or something, I guess. You know, so... And even then, you know, like, because there's things like Uvalde and shit.
I might want to keep this food sealed or up or...
Oh, well, Zukov opened that earlier because there was a fly on top of it, and he shoved his whole head in there. Like, he just did that.
In there and it went and hid underneath the fridge.
Oh, what? It jumped in there? Wait, so what the fuck? So that motherfucker hasn't even bought... Oh, that little shit. It knows. That fucker knows. Ah!
Came out here, I saw a rat and go... Whoop, boom.
Motherfucker.
So it's probably under there.
Oh, this... Well, not anymore at this point. Probably... Oh, that... Ah! Dude, I am getting so... I'm so sick of this fucker, dude. Holy shit. Well, I'm probably gonna move that, you know... Oh. What if I put Zukov's food bowl and water bowl on top? Oh, you know, I think I might have an idea. I think I just
put kibbles in there.
Yeah, like,
well, there and move his bowl inside or something like that.
Yeah, I'll do that for another night or two. That's, you know, because I didn't really think about that. So yeah, actually, yeah. You know, for like a night or two, or at least for a couple nights, I'll have, you know, let's leave this out. And then, yeah, because eventually it's just going to have
to... I came walking out there, I thought, whoop, ting! It's like half a second.
I know, those fuckers, man. I mean, he's got PTSD the last time he was in here, so it's scurries as soon as he hears any noise. That little fucker's aware now. And I hate how they're fucking legitimately very smart. Like, that's how I know it's like...
The rats are smart.
Yeah, that's how I know it's been so quiet, because it knows that if it makes any noise or even, like, thinks about coming out here while there's any potential noise and shit, even if it's been quiet for a while, I ain't gonna do anything. It's like, man, motherfucker.
And he was definitely a fast little bastard. Walking down here, just barely seeing like, woo!
Maybe I should get I need to get a bigger bag. I know that, so then I can, at least at that point, you know, if it potentially does hop in there, then it probably won't be able to hop out. Because then, if it's stuck in there, then I can just yoink it and then just put in, you know, something, and then just get it out of here.
How high did that rat jump? Like about so?
Fuck, you're right. Fuck these rats, man. They're a piece of shit, bro. I'm getting annoyed with them. I will stare at that fucker's little beady eyes and we'll just be like, you prick. I swear, dude.
Yeah, you don't want to shut off the only trail is into the trap. If you leave it open so they can go around if they want.
I mean, it can, obviously. It obviously can, so... Oh, man.
Like I said, they're smart. They're just like, okay, something suspicious here. The only way through here is into a bunch of food and a trap. Let's go around.
I mean, it doesn't know it's a trap. It just knows there's a bunch of food there. I mean, they're not, like, that smart. They, you know, they aren't able to, like...
Yeah, no, something suspicious, but they're just like, oh, let's get this stuff over here that we know is safe.
Well, it won't be.
You can set up a bug bomb and probably not want to live here.
Oh, here. By the way, hey.
I got one bug bomb for the room for tomorrow, I guess. Okay.
Alright. Back on and close right now if you slow to respond. That's fine. Obviously, you know, so I don't know about that fucking rat, which I'm really annoyed with. I am so done with that rat, bro. So done with that son of a bitch. I will just stare, like, I mean, one of these days, when I capture it, I will just, like, I'll straight up, like, make it a moment. I'll hold it in my hand. I'll be like, you are a fuck. And just have it just sit there and just accept its fate. You know what? I feel like I've bonded enough with this little bastard where I've decided, you know what, I ain't gonna kill it. But sure as shit being relocated. Like, I mean, you know, like, I won't kill this little bastard, but I'm definitely relocating him well far away from here. You know, he's gonna have his little journey of relocation, but, I mean, my god, dude. This little bastard. I will stare him down. And be like, you son of a bitch. Oh my god, Sukov is really going hard on this fly. Or flies, I should say. Because there's a shitload of them here. More. Oh, well, that's just great, awesome news right here. Record-breaking temperatures sweep the globe. Well, I'm feeling it. I am definitely feeling it, Mr. Krabs. At least the West Coast, I mean, look at that. At least the West Coast, at least, is got this cold or La Nina. See, we got the La Nina going on, so we don't got that bullshit as much. But guess what? We still do. It's not nearly as bad, though. Actually, you can kind of see it right here. Yeah. See how, like, the Pacific Northwest, like, on the very coast itself, pretty much, with the coastal mountain regions, it's actually a little less red. Even in California, dude, it's not really as significantly red. Like, the West Coast isn't nearly as bad because of La Nina going on in the Pacific right now. Dude, like, this shit's red all up in, like, fucking Quebec and, like, British Columbia, dude. Oh, my God. Dude, Alaska's got some of this red shit going on, bro. Dude, bruh. Jesus Christ. My lord, dude. Let's show the other map. It didn't even show the other map style, really? Lame. I love how the thumbnail, it showed this map, but the video showed a totally different map. Hey! Dude! My lord, dude. What? A little goof. A little boof goof. What are you... What in the hell? You know you're ridiculous, right? He is just trying so hard to go after those fucking flies. And it's so funny. It's just so damn funny. It's just so silly to watch him struggle. Here. And there's a lot of things about shit like TYT right now, dude. Oh my god. I was actually watching a little bit of the Human Supports video on that. I mean, it's a really long one. I mean, I don't want to get into the entire thing. At least maybe not yet. I probably will later tonight, but oh my god, dude. I already knew that they've been kind of going more of a reactionary path, but like my fucking Christ. Like, they are pretty much what's really long? Mike's but oh my god, you just want to make a dick joke, Jesus Christ. Okay, I see what you were doing there. But yeah, I mean, it's just Mike's video on it, which actually, funny enough, is exactly 33:33. Nice. But yeah, I mean, it's just like essentially how like Shank and Anna especially are just like going down the right wing path. There's even one where I didn't even know about, where I think like the last mayoral election in LA, like Cenk Uygur literally donated and helped try to boost a right winger billionaire that was like trying to buy out the mayoral election. And it's just like, what the fuck? It's like, whatever happened to Wolfpack, my dude? Like, where you the guys started that to get money out of politics, and now you're just joining it. It's like, man, you know, it's like, fuck these guys. I mean, I was already kind of like that anyway for a while, because they were just, like, generally too lib for my tastes. But now they're just straight up neoliberal, like center-right at this point. Like, that's just what they are now. Like, they've, like, devolved from that, even. It's like, they went from, like, somewhat progressive lib to just lib. And it's just like, bruh. Like, what fucking broke their goddamn brains? Was it, like, was it, like, 2020 or Trump? Like, was it that? Because I sort of fucking got him. It really must have. Where it, you know, apparently, it's like, I know, at least to some extent, especially within the DNC Democratic line, a lot of Republicans and a lot of moderates who went against the fray with Trump, you know, got rehabilitated and were seen as, like, you know, better people and you know, had their image, you know, reformed. And because of that, you know, are seen as more cushy, and like their ideas tend to be a lot more normalized, and thus the ratchet effect of, you know, the Democratic Party shifting slowly to the right continues ever fucking more. So, who would have thought that? But, you know, because of that, Now TYT is, being basically a more quote-unquote progressive, well, not even more, but, like being that arm of it, they have to shift to that now. And they've shifted so far with them to the point they've lost, frankly, as far as I'm concerned, that whole idea of being progressive. Because they're not. They're center-right neoliberal. I mean, it's like they might have a couple progressives there as like little token voices now, but at this point, that's not what they are. They're just center-right neoliberal corporate crats. They became the very fucking thing they sought to challenge. Which, what do you know? All that leftist energy always gets funneled into that same type of fucking shit. Go fucking figure. When I was at the punk show at DR9, I was talking with, a couple of mutual, some new acquaintances that were, friends of my friend Melty. And, and I was talking with him in between the show while my friend was, wandered off and talked to somebody else. And, we were talking politics, especially about, progressive leftism and shit. And honestly, it is so fucking refreshing to have, somebody else pretty much understand the fucking bullshit, you know what I mean? It was refreshing. It was just like, oh, man, to talk to some people that actually get it. It's like, fuck. Oh, it was a relief. It really was, in a sense, because I'm always having, different backs and forths, with different, political positions entirely, with other people. And sometimes it, can be a challenge. Hey, when am I chopped liver? I mean, if I'm at work or going to places or just talking to people one-to-one, right? Online's different. I'm talking about, and with other people and shit. I'm just hanging out with them. I'm meaning that. It's because obviously, I have all sorts of various different, interactions that, and shit that, there's people with very like-minded ideas to me here, obviously. I'm meaning, you know what I mean. Anyway, but, because at least for me, I haven't essentially always feel like I have to, be on a somewhat of a defensive in a way is always, kind of tiring in a sense. And it's always just kind of nice to have, a broad general, agreement on some different stuff, and then, getting into little details and having back and forths about stuff like that. And in a sense, there was times where we've had, different little backstories, oh, well, how would you think that would work and this and that, and I'm, go back and forth, okay, well, I feel like, that, it's a little idealistic, but, definitely like the energy, blah, 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 just have back and forth stuff, but it just had, such a, wave of, just what seems at least, of more camaraderie about, issues and shit, if it makes sense. Oh, did you get it? Oh, wait, they're still over here. In fact, there's a shitload of them over here. Here, I'll help you. I'll knock one, incapacitate one. Let's see if I can get two in one. Oh, I think I did. Did I? No, nah, one buzzed off, but I did get one. Oh, fuckers. But, yeah. Like I said, though, if anything, also, it's just kind of nice, to have kind of that broader camaraderie, because at least kind of, at least for me, kind of gives me an idea about, what, how to couch, these ideas with other people, too. Just based on how other people talk about those issues. Ah! Hey, they're way over here, bro. Hold on. Fuck you. I didn't get you, son of a bitch. Or maybe you're another one, I can't tell. I don't know if I'm getting them or not. There's, at least 2 or 3 of them over here. Assume everyone's stupid when talking politics. I mean, that's not a unfair assumption to have, frankly, in my opinion. Actually, I mean, that's not really necessarily too bad. That's why I say it was refreshing. That's also partly what I mean. It's because, not that I, think that people are just dumb when it comes to politics, just inherently. I just think, they don't really think too much about it, so they just don't really actually have too much of a, critical thought about it. Or, a strong philosophy, on politics, outside of, maybe like, how much am I getting paid? So, so I don't have to get taxed this amount or something like that. Like, cause honestly, like, at least, from broadly from my experience, like, a lot of people don't really give a shit about politics just because they're more, worried about their more day-to-day life shit, like bills or, like, when it comes to, like groceries, things like that, like, car payment or whatever the fuck. That's what most people's concerns are lied towards. Which I guess in a sense, by proxy, means that whatever politics, they do care about, at least is more directed towards what impacts their life. Which, at least in that sense, is good. But they don't, have a strong critical sense about, like, where to go with that, basically. Because, they're not politically in depth into, these, ideas and shit. It's not like, it's, like I said, it's not like something that they just are unable to. It's just that no one's taught them, and nor do they really have that much of a care for it. Because, again, it's usually something that, they predominantly, don't really give that much of a shit about. I don't blame them. I mean, especially if how politics are these days in America. I mean, fuck, I especially don't. Child labor claims first victim in decades. Is this a secular talk video? Yep. A teenager dies working at a sawmill. Go fucking figure. I was literally having, like, one of my late night streams with my dad when he was in here. Like, I was telling him about this, how literally in the United States, like, child labor is a thing. He's like, no, it's not. I'm like, literally, yes, it is. Like, it literally is. And wow, what do you know? More objective truth that it is literally in America. Like, we are literally having child labor in the U.S.
About the rights.
And frankly, this is just a confirmed case, by the way. They're saying, it claims its first victim. No, it didn't. Well, like, first victim in decades? No, it didn't. There's been child labor victims in the United States, for forever. Like, including today. It's just that they never get talked about. They're never reported on. But now that it's becoming more brazen and more open that it's a thing, now we're starting to hear stories about it. And now we're starting to, hear about these incidents happening again, or at least, bring back to the fucking surface because it's been happening.
On child labor, but it's the opposite. It's the embrace of child labor that's happening with Republicans at the state level all across the country. And I want to give you an update on that. So here we have, look at this, guys. This is from a New York Times reporter. They tweeted this article out. A major child labor rollback goes into effect in Iowa this weekend. 14-year-olds are now allowed to work in meat coolers. 15-year-olds can join assembly lines, and 16-year-olds can serve alcohol.
Which, that's insane. Like, I mean, why do you think a 16-year-old is a good idea to have as a barkeep or something like that? Or a bartender? Like, I mean, what the fuck? I wouldn't even have him be a goddamn bar back, dude. Like, I mean, could be some drunk 16-year-old, or some 16-year-old that's getting sexually harassed by a bunch of weird drunk old men. So, there's that too. I mean, dude, the implications are really very, very bad. I mean, and both. Like, you got, like, 16-year-old decides to get a little drunk because she's like, fuck this job, this sucks, and you know what? What's, the hoopla about everyone drinking this shit? Oh, okay. And then, you got some weird drunk perv, looking at her. Don't let girls have those underage jobs. Do you really think that, a bar, like, is going to not do that? Like, they're going to hire, that. Like, they're not going to have, like, some 16-year-old jock bro do it. Because that's not going to rein in the tips. I mean, it's, like, it's kind of sad and fucked up, but it is true. I mean, that's why the whole point of child labor is fucking insane. Because at least if you're an adult, you have the choice. I'm saying that to be ethical. Well, implying that there's ethics of having children work jobs like this. Like, because honestly, like, there's always a story about, like, a 16 or 15 or 14-year-old doing, like, dog walking or mowing someone's lawn for, some, like, weekend money or something like that. And honestly, when it comes to child labor in that sense, well, I say that in quotations, like, because it's, to me, there's a difference. Like, this type of child labor is insane and fucking, like, shouldn't be, like, allowed whatsoever in any metric. But, like, you know, some kid having a little weekend thing to mow, like, some neighbor's lawn or walk the dogs, you know, in the neighborhood or something like that. Like, I mean, I've done that even, and I don't think there's nothing really wrong with that necessarily. I mean, you know, it's just like, you know, that could be okay. I mean, because that's basically just their own volition. It's like, hey, let me put some signs up that says, you know, dog walking for, you know, like $10 an hour or something like that. You know, text or call me here, and there you go. Like, I mean, because every teenager has a phone now. And honestly, like, every now and then I'll see a kid or two with a few dogs, and I can tell that they're probably doing dog walking. I mean, you know, so hey, like, I mean, you know, even today, there are still kids out there doing stuff like that. Hell, a lot of my friends did, and like I said, I've done stuff like that before as a kid. You know, so as far as I'm concerned, I mean, that type of stuff, you know, when it comes to, like, kids, you know, having a job, if you want to, like, have kids have work experience, you know, have them mow, like, the neighbor's lawn or something for, you know, like, $30 or something like that. Like, I mean, that, to me, is okay, because, I mean, that's not like some insane, horrible, like, grueling conditions. Like, get a lawnmower, mow a lawn. I mean, that's basically like a typical chore that you expect a teenager to do anyway, you know, at their own house, right? Like, I mean, you know, at least to me, that's not really a big deal. But once you get, like, business and, like, corporations and all this shit, and it's just, like, not like some family thing or like some neighborhood thing going on, then that's where that's where I draw the fucking line. And there needs to be a strong, very heavily enforced line on that shit. Like, any businesses caught doing this shit, at least, you know, the actual, like, factory / mill or whatever the fuck that's doing that shit needs to be immediately shut down and all the executives and administrators arrested. Everybody. From the top down that allowed it. Except once I fucked up so bad they banned me from ever doing it again. Oh my god. Okay, I will admit, how did you do that? I'm actually kind of curious, bro. You know what? That's impressive. I mean, because I will say, it's not really that hard to not fuck up mowing a lawn, so I'm honestly... You mowed over mom's garden? Ah, man, okay. I mean, how'd you fuck that up a little bit? At dad's weed garden? Oh, dude, you did fuck up. Oh my god. What? Oh my god. Okay, I see what happened. Oh my lord. Yeah, I can see why they banned you. Oh man. Mom doesn't know that second part. Oh, you know what? She probably does. I mean, at this point, I wouldn't be surprised if your dad, you know, told her at one point, eventually. She was to accept the loss of her flowers. And also the loss of her flowers. Well, her husband's flowers. She just didn't mention that. I guarantee, dude, you'll be surprised what moms know, dude. I'm just saying that right now. You'll be surprised what mamas know. I'm just saying. Dude, there's been things that I thought my mom would not know, and then she'll just blur it out and be like, I didn't know that. She's like, because I do. I'm like, no, fucking really, how do you know? And she'll be like, oh, well, because of this. I'm like, motherfucker. And it's literally just because someone else tells her, or she, like, snoops in my room or something like that, you know. I'm just like, fucking really? It's like, okay, well, mind your business, too. Like, I mean, really? At least you now just decide to say something and didn't say anything this entire time, but gee, thanks. Thanks for knowing that I could trust you with secrets. I really doubt she knows. Dude, I'm telling you, man, you'd be surprised what mamas know. Never doubt the knowledge of a mama. Like, if that's one thing I learned about my mom, is that, dude, mama knows all. I'm just saying, dude. It's like, I mean, it just really is one of those things. There's something about, like, that mom instinct where they just fucking know everything. Well, not everything, but at least when it comes to, like, your shit, you know, it's like, I know you. You know, it's like, well, yeah, they do. It's only in years since she's significantly softened on weed. He passed in 2019 for context. Said his last president was Trump. Ugh. I still blame the Alabama brain rot. Alabamian brain rot. Alabamian brain rot. Oh yeah. Well, more like oh no. Yeah. Let's see what, like, other little things that happen on this too, huh? It's Louisiana. Well, y'all were in Alabama, and if he's from Louisiana, well, so there's at least, you know, it's just southern brain rot, basically. Might have long been set in. Oscar, California. Man, it really shows about my parents a little bit, I think. Mom's from Texas, dad's from Montana. And, you know, and honestly, their worldviews really show because of it. Like, my mom's, like, moderate, like, Christian, passionate, like, you know, compassionate conservatism bullshit, you know, and all that, you know, like, comes really is heavily, you know, big thing there. And like in areas like Montana, it's Montana, it's Montaria. That's actually kind of a cool name for a place, Montaria. But Montana, like, it's pretty libertarian, and I mean, like, American libertarian in a sense, very, like, economically conservative, and, you know, because there's a lot of big business industries that are there and shit, but also at the same time pretty somewhat socially liberal, though. Not entirely, but I mean, to some extent. I mean, depending on where you're at, though. Like, some places in Montana are definitely very fucking conservative socially. Mom's lib, but that was a weird mix of left and right ideas. Sounds like my dad. My mom is definitely a lot more set in being conservative, but not, like, far right. Like, you know, like a true sense of being, like, a moderate, traditional conservative. Oh, this fucker! He had a lot of Union Man in him and was big on weed. Well, the thing is, those aren't even necessarily, like, you know, strictly a leftist idea when it comes to when it comes to those issues. Like, there's union conservatives, and there's also very pro-weed conservatives. Like, I mean, there's some of my family members that are, you know, frank out a little, like that are pretty conservative to some extent, but yet at the same time are at least pretty open to the idea of unions and labor, or at least somewhat supportive of them. You know, it's like they don't know everything about them and shit necessarily, but from what they understand of them, especially what I've told them about it, they like and support those ideas. And I've had, you know, some back and forth with them on it. And honestly, even with my aunts, you know, like, I've had some relatively decent conversations about that stuff. I mean, I don't know what their, you know, core ideas, at least for my aunts. I don't know what, like, you know, their ideas about unions and labor are down to the core, but at least from my talks with them, they've been at least either relatively neutral or positive about it. So, you know, it's like, when it comes to labor and unions, like, you really would be surprised, like, how much that really overlaps with people. Like, there's a lot of blue-collar working-class folks out there that, yeah, are pretty fucking conservative, yeah, are Trump supporters and voters and shit like that, but suddenly you talk labor, they're going to be pro-union as fuck out of nowhere. You know, because a lot of the workplaces are union, and, you know, and that's a lot of reasons why, you know, they still have their jobs and have, you know, the, you know, shit that they got is because of that. And whether they truly down to the core know it or not, they at least recognize to a certain degree that that's the reason, at least to some extent, why they have it. You know, so, and it's not all across the board, obviously, but there's a strong contingency of them out there. I mean, and, like, all in all, does that make them, bad people, just because they're conservatives or Trump voters or some shit like that? I mean, not necessarily, no, not in my opinion. I mean, because there's a bridge there, when it comes to those type of, like, union conservative types and shit, because of, like, a big intersectional value that a good chunk of leftists understand and agree with. And there's a lot of, these type of leftist people and shit that are also within the workforce, right? So, it's about using that bridge to help, win them over to other, values of the broader, intersectional idea of labor, which includes all of these other social issues as well, and economic issues. I mean, it's like, that's why I always, say, and a lot of people say, that labor is the rising tide that raises all ships. I mean, because there's merit to that. I mean, it's just, there's, like, legitimate, results and actual, like, history to prove that. I mean, it's a long, hard battle, and, or a long, hard battle and war and shit, but, I mean, all in all, like, it, there's victories in it. Hard fought and shit. We need to kind of, get back into the trenches with it, but, nonetheless. Holy shit, it was way worse than I thought when it made me feel okay that I used to make absolute jokes in front of him. He just burst out laughing. I just thought it was into edgy humor. Yeah, that's why I kind of have to be careful about edgy humor sometimes. I was kind of reading what you were saying, by the way. But it never came out of that. Yeah, I mean, considering how, I get it. I mean, I guess, just depending on who it might be, like, you just kind of have to, like, gauge it, because, I mean, my mom, it was, at least to an extent, not, like, entirely homophobic, but was, like, you have to be a good gay, basically, because she still was about the whole love the sinner, hate the sin. So, basically, another way of saying, well, yeah, I tolerate them, and they're enough of a friend to me, but they're still gay, basically. Like, because she had gay friends and shit, and would hang out with them and stuff, and I knew them, too, to an extent. But every now and then, like, because I would ask questions, like, about it, and she would suddenly basically have a somewhat condescending position about them, and I would, notice that, and be like, huh? I worshipped growing up Borderline Mom, but now he's gone, my mind's clear. Well, no, I get it, yeah, you've told me about that shit. It's understandable, for sure. I mean, like, because when you got, like, someone that, obviously you look up to, but then you kind of have that, it's kind of the whole, like, never meet your heroes type of thing, right? Like, you realize, like, oh, shit, wait, oh, fuck. It's, like, you kind of realize that, like, oh, shit, I realize that this person was kind of a shitbag a little bit. I mean, it doesn't necessarily mean that they totally were through and through, but at least, when you kind of realize that, obviously, that there was a lot more flaws with him than you realized, then it's just like, oh. I mean, it's kind of like, when it comes to, like, something a little bit more broadly, but, like, when it comes to, like, music, or, like, or an artist that you really like, right? And that shit, like, with something like Shinedown, or at least, when it comes to, like, with me, like, with, like, Marilyn Manson, or, like, Till Lindemann from Rammstein, or something like that. He did good things, too. Well, yeah, that's what I mean. That's why I kind of rephrased it to, like, having more flaws than you realize type of thing. Because I realized, it's like, shitbag probably wasn't necessarily the best word. I mean, it can potentially be accurate, but, I mean, like, that just depends on the person. He donated charity to help minorities because he had a lot of black friends. Yeah, so, when it came to social issues, he was very mixed. And, it's really good that he at least, fought for racial justice. Yeah, so, the black community is homophobic as fuck as well. Well, I wouldn't necessarily treat that as a monolith, overall, because a lot of black youth are a lot more, pro-LGBT and more pro-queer in comparison to, the older contemporaries. Because a lot of older black folks and shit definitely are. At least a lot more so, or at least just kind of casually homophobic, but a lot of, black people, at least, from, like, pretty much within our age group and younger, are nowhere near as much. I mean, you'll still see a lot of homophobia, though, still. It's not like it's not there, but there's, as, you go younger with any demographic, frankly. Like, at this point, the younger they are, the more likely they're going to be progressive and have more liberal social values and things like that. I mean, that's just across the board, though. I mean, whether, from black community, Latino community, the whites, or whatever the fuck, it's like, that's just across the board. The adults back on us now. Well, yeah, but like I said, though, it's like, at least, in various different elements of, like African-American culture, at least regionally, like, there's still a lot of, underlying homophobia that goes on. But that's the same thing anywhere in the U.S. Like, just a lot of heavy underlying homophobia with a lot of right-wing, white conservative Christian evangelicalism right now. So it's just something that's just across the border, it's fucked up no matter what. That's why it needs to be critiqued and challenged, regardless of what fucking, background it comes from. And regardless of what community either, or anything. Like, I mean, that's why, like, because it's like, because I've, addressed, like, homophobia, like, because I remember back in, like, 2020, there would be every now and then, some segments of those protests where a few, black folk, or at least, just other people in general, would legit be, throwing homophobic shit. And then, I wouldn't necessarily be super offended by it, but, there'd be other people that would pop in to be like, hey, there's, like, other queer people and, like, trans folks out here that actually, like, are your allies in this, right? And they're like, well, we don't give a fuck them, I don't give a shit, Like, they straight up would do shit like that. And I'm just like, I'd be in the back of it, being like, what the fuck? It's like, don't you want them here to, like, for the whole strength in numbers and solidarity and all that shit? But yet, like, now you're like, my homophobia overrides the solidarity, fuck that. It's like, ugh. It's just like, my God. 45 minutes in after taking instant gorilla stones. No, little dog was just chilling over there being cute. And we're kind of like fireballing through some topics today. I haven't really needed to react to much shit. Just fireballing through the topics. Just boom, 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 boom. In Bama, the only legal way to get high is to take THC pills. Well, at least it's something, I guess. At least that's like the most direct way to do it. But it tastes like straight flour. Well, I imagine probably because it's just activated THC that, that just came from the flour itself. Like, like how they'll make, like, edibles, like canna butter and shit like that. They probably just used that process. And then just got the THC, extracted out of it, put it in a pill, and there you go. So that's probably why. Like, I mean, whatever, like, they probably literally, like, press these in heat and shit. And, just extracted all the THC and put it in a pill. Which, by that logic, their chances are there probably is, like, stray amounts of flour in it, potentially. Rather smoke or vape, to be honest, even though they're edibles. I mean, I don't know. There's a place for edibles. Because, frankly, you can get, like, hella gorilla stoned and, like, Pluto stoned, like, immensely over, just over some dank-ass edibles. I have before, so, I mean, honestly, I've gotten more high off of edibles than smoking it. At least, just from my experience. That's why I like them. I like the inside of smoking. Well, that's why I smoke while I'm having the edibles. Like, while I wait for the edibles to kick in, I'll have a couple bowls so I at least, get, nice little buzz going. And then once those edibles hit about half an hour later, you just like, you just get into the vibe. It's good shit. I'll never drink CBD again. It's not for everybody. Well, the thing is, like, depending on how it's done, like, I mean, dead ass, I mean, like, it will affect you differently. Like, that's why some people do edibles over smoking it, because doing edibles is easier on them. While smoking, you know, will give them, like, a panic attack or something like that. Or that's why some people only do CBD versus, you know, THC and stuff like that, because they can't handle the psychoactive aspects of marijuana, right? So, I mean, or sometimes, you know, the strain too. Like, some people can handle sativa, some people, you know, can handle indicas, but they can't handle the other, right? So it's just like, you know, people hit it, you know, like when they hit the weeds and stuff. I mean, it's going to hit them differently, no matter what. Everyone gets affected slightly differently. I mean, it hits the same parts of the brain, but how we process it, how our brains, you know, want to process that will differ. Doesn't always lead to the same result. CBD whiskey. Ooh, to me, that sounds good. I mean, was it just straight up whiskey, or was it, like, you know, mixed with something? Because I feel like that's probably something you want to mix with. At least in my opinion. I feel like that's something you would want to mix, like, a drink with. Watch a kitten video. Oh my fucking god. Kittens. Kittles. Oh, I've seen this before. A guy saves a kitten and a whole bunch of them pop up.
He's on the side of the road. He's gonna get killed for sure. Someone just... Oh no, it's a whole... Oh my gosh!
They all show up, dude.
Take you off. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, there's more.
Oh my god, look at them all.
We got a kitten problem.
A kitten problem.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my god, dude. He got swarmed, dude. One of them showed up and he's like, alright lads, he's safe, and they all jumped, dude. Oh my god. Dude, they planned that. Those kittens planned that shit, dude. Oh my lord. Oh man, dude, you know, like, when that happens, they sound hungry. Yeah, they are, honestly. You could tell that they probably, like, honestly, what happens, if they're on the side of the road like that, what's sad is likely that their mama probably died. So, like, you know, and they look about the age to where they're gonna probably, you know, get to the point where they're gonna get weaned off anyway. But, you know, they're still really young. They're not, like, really at a age to really be on their own yet. So, you know, I mean, you gotta take all of them, you know. It's like, if I saw that, I honestly be like, okay, change plans, going to the vet, you know, we're gonna drop off these little guys and maybe keep one. You know, because, oh my lord. I mean, that's just, one, too damn cute, and two, you are now, like, you know, you're now their savior. They all ran up to you, you gotta help them. I mean, I guarantee you he did, like, you know, because it looked like he was going to anyway, and then when they all showed up, he was like, uh-oh. Well, now I really got a kitten problem. Oh, it's just so cute. Oh, I love it. CBD whiskey and tea. Was that what you mixed it? I read the comments. He kept 3. Oh, I kept 3 of them? Oh. Oh. So he did take all of them, and then he kept a few. Oh. Because I guarantee you, there's like there's a few of them that just would not leave them. Like, even after they got taken care of a little bit, you know, dropped off, there was probably a couple that just straight up would not leave them. And he's like, you know what, fuck it, I'll take them. You know, I guarantee you that's what happened. Like, they were, like, at that first one for sure, I guarantee you that was the one he kept, like, for sure. Because he was probably initially thinking about doing that anyway. And then the other 3, you know, popped up, or the other 2 popped up, and then the rest of them showed up. So it's just like, alright. I'm gonna keep at least a couple of these guys. I would. It was CBD whiskey mixed with tea. That's probably why it didn't sit well with you. Just saying, the tea with the sugar in it, probably why. Though, honestly, I mean, to me, that shit sounds fucking delicious. Do you usually think it's okay? Yeah, which is kind of why I'm, like, thinking, why did it really work that well this time? It's probably just a combination of, like, CBD whiskey and a tea. So it might have just been the CBD with all that. Just try a regular CBD soda at some point, if you are open to it again. Don't try it with, like, a whiskey. Like, just try it with a regular CBD soda. You know, see how that hits you. Because it might honestly hit you differently. So that's what usually messes with me on mixed drinks. Well, because they're way jotted out with sugar. There's like a lot more sugar in it, and alcohol, you know, likes sugar. Like, that's why they say if you're, you know, drinking stuff, you want to try to avoid sugary things. And also eat something before. Guess I'll have Mountain Dew vodka. Well, yeah. Oh, that for sure. Honestly, that sounds fucking amazing. I'm gonna have to try that at some point. But, do a little check here. Now it's 3 o'clock. Boo! I'll finish the last little bit of this bowl, did. I have to head off to work. Boo. Boo, I'd say. Which, fuck. When I showed up there to grab my check and coffee, apparently, call off. No, what? Like, literally pretty much everyone did. Like, there's like pretty much no one there, like, besides like 2 people right now. Which, fuck. Why did, like, you would think yesterday would have been the time everyone called off because it was after the 4th. And now, like, everyone decided to call in today? Like, fucking really? It's like, what, did everyone decide to do their partying and drinking, you know, yesterday? Fucking fly. But the corporation, I mean, I agree. Well, I agree with that. But the thing is, there ain't no picket line to cross. So, and there just isn't a picket line. It's just people that called out for some reason or another. Oh my god, this fly! Get... Okay. Well, I'm going to go off to work and make sure this fly doesn't drive me insane. So anyway, peace out. And of course, I'll be back around for the next one, so...